Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello and welcome to the A24 project here on the Nerd Party Network. Every 2 weeks we look at two films from the A24 filmography, and in between we bring you interviews with the talent involved in front of and behind the camera. In this interview special, I'm joined by Wayne Diamond to discuss his role as the High Roller in the latest film from the Safdie brothers, Uncut Gems. Wayne, with his long locks, tan and great fashion taste, made a strong impression on every audience member who took in the film during the film's stressful but unforgettable climax as he finds himself crossing paths with Julia Fox's character, Julia. We go behind the scenes on the making of Uncut Gems, Wayne's amazing life story, his involvement in the fashion industry, his decade-plus experience of working with and knowing the Safdie brothers, and much, much more. Me and Dallas will be back next week to review A Prayer Before Dawn and Never Going Back. But until then, enjoy the interview, and thanks once again to Wayne for joining me.
Last year I made $125 million. I don't even know what to do with my money anymore. I have nobody to spend it with, nobody to enjoy my life with anymore. It's horrible. Today is the big day for me. I met you. You're hot. You want to have a drink when we get there?
One thing I'm curious about is that obviously since sort of Uncut Gems has kind of come out, I was lucky enough to see in October. You certainly left an impact with myself when I watched it. And what's kind of caught my attention was when I watched that film, I thought, who is that guy? This is another one of these great Safdie brothers finds that they found this great actor. I'd love to know sort of, are these, when you do these kind of interviews, I know you've just done one with GQ, other bits and pieces where they're kind of diving into your career, the mystery, the enigma surrounding you. Do you ever worry about playing your hand and people going, finding out a bit too much about you, or do you like to keep a nice bit of mystery about yourself?
I've always been an open book. I don't give a except for the health of my kids, me. I want to stay alive. I want to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to do comedy. No, it doesn't bother me. People, if they, even on Instagram, with all my, I've never had anybody say anything bad about me. I've always done the right thing in business. I never screwed anybody. I did everything right. I believe in the golden rule in business. I'm not Donald Trump. Everybody should hate his guts. He's a piece of garbage filth. I'm an honest guy. I love it. I'm an open book. Whatever you read, it's the truth. It's the truth.
I was blown away by I was reading up on you and sort of like you've got an incredible life story. You could almost imagine a Safdie brothers film about your life. This huge career in sort of the fashion industry, high role in life.
Great.
Can you tell me a little bit about sort of your rise to success?
Well, I started as a kid. I met a guy who was Murder Incorporated guy. He put me in business. He told me call him. 5 years later, I called him, put me in the dress business. And all of a sudden, I needed the money. We were poor in those days. Everybody was poor. I didn't have no money, and I ended up becoming the biggest, one of the most successful dress people of all time. Loved designing, loved making dresses. Started from the bottom, worked my way up to the top in a very, very short period of time, 5-year period. And I loved it. I still love it. I love designing. I love clothing. I was pissed that when Joe Rivers passed away. I loved that I didn't get that TV show. That's the show I wanted badly, look at that girl. Oy, oy. I know how to dress people in America, all over the world, as a matter of fact. I love it.
I suppose I asked you a question. The biggest injustice was Uncut Gems was cut out of the Academy Awards nominations.
We got terrible.
I'd love to know your perspective on it as well. You wanted your little Oscar. What was the kind of highlights of the fashion that you saw sort of on Oscar night? Was there any sort of travesties as big as kind of Uncut Gems?
There was some. Those two, the two rabbits talking to each other. That lady with the dresses with those things hanging out. What was that? She had things hanging out. Like if she bumped into you, she'd knock you over. I don't know what kind of. It was horrible. Most of the dresses were horrible. Simple dress. Simple is better. This lady had these like shriveled things come. I made dresses all my life. I've never seen anything made so tacky. Horrible. Look at the men. The men dress nice, tuxedos. The more simple something is, the nicer it looks. Like I like wedding dresses, but I like girls that are nicely built, nice satin dress with a nice little shawl. That's it. Simple. You look hot. If you're fat, then you wear all those rough stuff, which is nice. I don't knock it.
If there was a celebrity out there that you would love to dress, to be the personal stylist for, who's your kind of eye
Who
on?
would you want to do? I mean, the one I would do the most there would be Penelope Cruz. Everybody wants. She's hot as shit. You got Nicole Kidman used to work at my gym with me. She's very pretty and she's very talented. She's got a good guy. I mean, her husband's a really cool cat. There's not Alaire and my friend Sebastian's wife who was there. You didn't see her on stage, but she was there. She's terrific. I mean, she wears some cool cut-out dresses.
When did you and sort of the Safdie brothers first connect, and how did that kind of happen?
12 years ago, they were about 23, 22. I met him at this place like we have in New York called the Spotted Pig. It's like, it's a bar, bar down in the village that everybody hung out at. Very cool place, good drinks, cool people, a lot of tattoo people, but like, more hippie-ish. And I met Sebastian McLeod and Josh Safdie, and we started talking there with the father, with Josh's father, not Josh's father, but Sebastian's father. I talk to everybody. I'm always talking to everybody. I love talking to the whole world. I love it. And we got into a conversation. He said, "You know what? I'd like to take your number." I said, "Okay, here's my number." I took his number. It's in my phone right now. It says artist. That's how many years back. I called him the artist, whatever. And what happened was they called me about 4 months later. "We're going to do a rock video. We'd like you to be in it." I said, "Hey, I'm retired and ready for the dress business. I'm doing nothing. And I'm just enjoying my life." And I do the video with them, and it was terrific. I mean, I got some credit for it or whatever. I didn't even know. And it was very good. Then we did some radio shows together over the years. They called me, and I did a lot of little things for them. I love the guys. I mean, they're great guys. I mean, it's like hanging out with your best friends, They're like, they're cool cats, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but they're great.
When did they first approach you with the idea of Uncut Gems? Obviously,
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
And was it always this role that they had in mind for you, or was it, hey, we're going to do something, we're going to give you a call?
The role they had in mind for me was, when they had the idea for the role for me, whatever it was, I can't say, but I'm a little too old to play that role right now. But they called me right away. "We got a role for you, Wayne. Come on down, do a screen test. We need you to do the whole thing." So I went to Jennifer Vendetti, who's a terrific #1 cast director in New York. She says, "You're the guy." I mean, she liked me, I did one of the scenes. And after that, they said, "You're in." And they were just the greatest. I did the movie. I did the part. But you know what? One guy, Ronald Bronstein, who wrote the screenplay, said, "Wayne," and who I know since he's a little kid from Oceanside, Long Island, he said to me, "Wayne, nobody's ever going to forget your role in this movie." I said, "This part, 20 minutes in a movie? Come on. I mean, I really had for the fourth largest part, believe it or not. I mean, in a movie, if you think about it." And I said, You're crazy. I mean, look what I'm doing here. Carry bags, whatever I did. And it turned out that I can't go anywhere without nobody recognizing me. I mean, everybody knew me in Europe and here. I'm a pretty well-known character. I'm a loudmouth. Everybody kind of knows me and likes me. It worked out well. I mean, I liked it. I liked a little bit of fame, and I think that that I'm hoping to get me my next part with them in the next movie, which they said that I'm going to get something very big.
Touched on it there that you're well known, but then this film has skyrocketed you. There's something about you that people, hey, that's that guy from Uncut Gems, that last 20 minutes.
Who's that guy? Who's the guy?
When was the moment
because I have a look and I talk funny, and I'm like, people like me. People think I'm like, they used to call me the legend in New York and in Miami and in St. Tropez. Hey, there's the legend, And now it's like worldwide. I'm like so happy. It's like the greatest. And I'm a nice guy. I mean, I don't want to hurt nobody. I just want to make people laugh. I like making people laugh. That's what I like to do.
When was that moment that you realized, oh my God, your mate was right about this, that people are going to remember you from this role? Was there a moment when the film started to come out?
I had no idea. No, you know what had happened? I guess we went to the opening at really the first opening was in Telluride. I didn't bother going, but we went to TIFF in Toronto. And when I was sitting in the audience in Toronto watching the film with my family there, and then I came on with the helicopter, and I'm talking, and then I get out, Everybody in the theater was laughing for 20 minutes, hysterical after being the tension that we had. You know, the tension in the film. You saw the film, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen it quite a few
Yeah, the
times now.
tension, and all of a sudden, there he was. Boom! I cut the tension by getting off that helicopter, hey, baby. Whatever. I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, but that's what I knew when they were all laughing. Then I asked my friends when they went to different, sightings of the film in New York, what do you think? Everybody laughed when you came on. So I kind of knew something was happening, Now I go out, everybody, can I take a picture with you? The funniest thing, who am I? The Safdies, McLeod, Adam, Dina Mansell, they spent their whole life being great. Terrific.
One of the things I think that everyone loves about your scenes together is the relationship between you and Julia Fox. You have great chemistry on screen. What was it like you two working together?
The funniest thing with her was she was treating me like the whole time. I didn't understand that was a role, that all she was thinking about was Adam. Adam was a love, her baby, her baby. I didn't understand. I liked her. We got along real good, like sometimes. And then sometimes she was just so mean to me. And I didn't understand why. I said to her, why are you so mean? She didn't want to get out of her head, her part, And I didn't get it. I had no clue. Because I didn't know her part. I only got my lines. That's what Safdies do. They don't give you everybody else's lines, so you don't know what they're thinking. So she was just a great chick. A great chick. I loved being with her. She was a lot of fun. She was really cool. She's a really New York, down-to-earth New York girl. I don't know what she's doing in California. She's going to be back in New York. You don't belong out there. It's like being in Scotland, you know what I mean? And you live in London, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I was curious as well, once I discovered your background in sort of design and so on, is did you get much input in your characters' costumes and so on, and what you would imagine your character wearing? Or did the Safdie brothers have a very specific idea for how you would dress?
They know how I dress. They know how I was. This is the way I look. I always wear black. I always look like this guy. But they wanted. All of a sudden, Josh tells the fashion director that he should be wearing leather pants. This is a joke. So she brings me a pair of pants that's like a 90-inch waist that weighed maybe 150 pounds. It was like something. If you were going to be in a fire, you'd put this on. So you didn't get burnt. I just said, hey, I'm not wearing these. I'm wearing my black jeans and what I'm wearing, and I wear my chrome heart, my long jacket, a nice, beautiful scarf, and that's it. And they went along with it because I wasn't going to wear that. I would have sweated to death, weighed so much. I like leather pants, but I'm a little old now,
You got to nicely mix it up as well. You got to wear the leather pants, and then you get to wear that towel. You rock that towel.
Yeah, the towel's important. Hey, let me tell you. When I had a body, baby. Gained a little weight over the last few years. You know what I mean? They made me push my belly out. They made me look like a fat. They made me look like Green. My buddy Green from the stores in London.
The one thing I thought was fantastic as well was sort of like, your character clearly leads this high lifestyle. What was it like sort of putting yourself into that kind of character? Was it quite easy to kind of adopt into, or was it sort of like, wow, I'm going to be in helicopters, casinos,
No, I've done all
penthouses?
that before. I was a degenerate gambler. I lost hundreds of millions of dollars in the casinos over the years and playing cards. So I know what it's like. I know the feeling. They know. Those guys do. I know the feeling, what it is to lose. I didn't give a, I was in the action all my life. So it was nothing new. Helicopters. I've been at Sikorsky's. I've been on, helicopters before. No big deal. It was nothing that was a big deal. In that respect. The big deal was to be in a major movie, and that turned out to be what I thought it would be because I know the Safdie brothers, and I know Sebastian. They're great. They're the greatest. I knew this was going to be big. And you got Adam Sandler. Give me a break.
Adam Sandler's character, Howard, has that high gambling lifestyle that you kind of talked about there that, for someone like me that'll maybe put a few bucks on sort of the football or something like that as a bet.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Give me a break. I get my balls to be 33.
So I had the, I couldn't, I was like, oh my God, I was stressed watching betting. I'm not a basketball fan, but I was stressed watching it. Were you able to give sort of Adam Sandler any sort of your hints and tips of what it was like to be spending that kind of money, to lose that kind of money, to win it too? Were you able to kind of share some of those experiences?
It was never. Listen, the thing is that people that aren't real gamblers don't understand. It's never about the money. The more you have, the more you want to bet, and the bigger the bet, the more you feel the action. The more you got your pulse racing, and the more action you're getting. The more you never make a bet. That bet in the movie was ridiculous. I mean, no bookmaker that I know nobody would ever take that bet. Nobody would ever take a parlay like that. Okay, never gonna happen. Never, never, never. But you make big bets with bookmakers. You'll do a two-tier parlay, an over/under. It's a big difference. A big, big difference. Adam gets it. Adam got it. The guy that you had there, I don't know what his name was. That guy with the gray hair. He wasn't a real bookmaker. He was an announcer. He really didn't get what it is to feel being a bookmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew plenty of bookmakers. I mean, he was no. It's like what's his name? It was what's Reagan said to the guy. This guy was no bookmaker. A bookmaker would say, "You can't take the bet. Here's the bet I'll let you have, and these are the odds I give you on it." It was very real though. It was really real, and for a layman, it was so real. It was so great. I mean, insane. Insane. When you see the movie, you feel like you're there. It was a real movie, and everything that happened was unexpected.
You touched on it. You only had your lines in this kind of film. And then what was it like when you see the finished product with how you fit into that final third? That as this kind of climax is going on, we've got Adam in the kind of room, KG's kind of playing the basketball.
KG the best. Oh,
yeah.
KG. Oh, was he the best? You know what? You don't know what's going on. It took them 4 months to edit the film. So I never knew what was going on. I never knew. You don't know. You never know what you're doing in a movie. I've done some short movies, some TV, and some things that you never know what really is going on. You don't know. You don't know until the finished product's done. When you look at the finished product, you want to hide under the desk somewhere. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's surreal. You know what I mean?
What was it like when you saw that finished product for the first time? Were you sitting there thinking, "What are going? God, I hope they've not cut me."
I was like embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was very embarrassed. You're like embarrassed. Here it is. I'm playing this kind of cartoon character. I look at it. I said, "Oh my God." When I come off to a chick like that, when I ever come off to a girl like that, I would tell a girl 3 times. I'd ask 3 girls sit on my face in the old days when I was a kid. One would say yes. I'd be happy. I would never be like. So classy, you know what I mean?
What was it like that kind of first night that you've been in these shorts and then you see this final finished film, you're rolling it, the crowd love you. Is it sort of like, as you say, you've had big bets, you've had success. What's it like to be at a premiere of your own film and to know that the audience are loving what you're doing?
It makes you feel. Look, I like to make people laugh. When I heard people laugh, I feel I get. Animated. I feel terrific. I feel great. I'll be in a bar. I make all these people laugh in a bar. First they look at me and say, "Look at this long-haired freak," and before you know it, I have them all laughing at the bars in New York or wherever I am in the world. I'm very good at making friends and all over the world, and I enjoy it. And, when I can make them laugh, I feel like $1 million. That's really what feels good to me.
Who were the people that made you laugh when you were sort of like a young man, or now that...
Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield. Give me a break already. He was the best. He made me hysterical. If you see the one, if you ever do the YouTube of Johnny Carson and him, your stomach will fall out. That's how funny it is. He's just insane. He's like... And it's all improv. He was all improv. Buddy Hackett. The fat guy. What's his name? All the guys on Saturday Night Live. All that fat dudes that died. They were the greatest. The greatest guy. John Candy. Oh, my God. Richard Pryor. So many guys. Listen, these are guys. We don't have too many today. They die too young, a lot of these comedians, They I don't know, it's the drugs or they have heart attacks or whatever. But they die too young. It's a horrible thing. I love comedy. I go to a comedy club here in New York. Yeah, I like to laugh. I like to sit there with a few drinks and just laugh my ass off. A lot of fun.
The joy is, you've touched on it there, you've had quite a long history with the Safdie brothers, and it seems that more people are discovering them. For people like me and you, we've known their work for years now.
But it was just so fine. They had so fine, terrific with Patterson. they're great. They're great. I mean, they've been around. It's not like they just came on the scene.
Yeah.
They've been around for 10 years, doing little things, not always big things, but that was another thing with Patterson. Should have won. I mean, that was another thing. He got fucked. He didn't get the Academy Award for that. I think. Look, Adam. They wanted him to have more under his belt as a real act. Look, the English, the Scottish, you got actors. I mean, they start when they're a year old. You've got great theater in London, and it's part of your culture. In America, we're not there. I mean, I took acting. I love Shakespeare. I love doing Shakespeare. I know every play. I know every fucking play. I love doing it. I can't do it well. I'm not an Englishman. An Englishman that knows how to do all that. When you see Adam, it was the first time he did really a serious role, and he was terrific. So I think for the first time, they're going to give him hey, we're not going to give him an award. So what? He's got plenty of time to go, and he's getting, he's at the right age now. He's in his 50s, and that's when you get it. I think the next time he does a serious role, and if it's with the Safdies, which I hope so, because they're terrific, or somebody else, he's going to win. He's definitely going to win.
One of the things, like with the Safdie brothers, is they've received a lot of praise for picking out. You look at all their films and work, the shorts, that they have an eye for the background characters, the characters that they pick people from the streets, the people that they know, someone like yourself.
Yeah.
What is it about them that gives them this special eye for finding talent like yourself and so many of the others?
Jennifer Vendetti also, the casting director, she's terrific. Okay, let's give her the credit also in there. That's her thing. She's done a few movies on her own, and she's pretty good. She's pretty cool. There's a guy, Nicky New York in New York. He takes pictures of everybody. People go up on their Instagram. They're more real. There are actors that makes things very real. But I think when you get a guy off the street or somebody that's not an actor, and they're able to play themselves, which I think playing yourself is harder than acting. Mm-hmm. To be able to be yourself in a movie, exactly yourself, it's not as simple as it seems. It's much harder than acting, because you have to get into you, and I think it makes the movie more real. I think it gives it more reality.
You think one of your perhaps next roles, whether it's with Safdie brothers or whatever, you touched on there, you're a huge fan of Shakespeare. I've got the image now of you in the shower, quoting Hamlet or performing, something like that.
Hey, that was the winter of our discontent. That was the, you know what I mean? I can see, and I like that shit.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Remember, what's his name in the bathroom? Your guy, your famous actor, German actor. He's in the bathroom taking a piss, and he's quoting King Richard. That was the greatest scene of all time.
Could you imagine sort of going for maybe something, a role like that next, or do you think it'll always be sort of like perhaps comedy?
I want to do comedy. I like comedy, or I like that. You know what I like to do? I like to do a mobster movie. I love to be a gangster. I love put my hair back, be a total gangster. That's what I like to do. Is there any sort of
comedy or kind of the mob directors that you would love to kind of work with?
Who wouldn't want to be with Scorsese?
Yeah.
Does the same over and over again, but every time you got to watch it. The guy's the greatest. When it came to mobster movies, to be a Harvey Keitel, a De Niro, or a Pacino, give me a break. There's nothing better than that. Hey, how you doing, mother? I want to take your eyes out. I want to take your eyes out, put them on the ground and snap on them, you bitch. I say, that's good.
Do you think with one of these ones that now that you've retired from sort of the dressmaking, the fashion side, is acting something you're wanting to embrace now full time?
Yeah, I always wanted it. I wanted to embrace it when I was 6 years old. Always loved acting. Part of being great in anything you do is being a good actor, not being a corporate schmuck. You got all these corporate schmucks running around. With their suits and their ties. 10% of them are. You look at these actors. They're educated. Most of them are educated. They're English lit majors. They're bright people. Then you look at what we got in America, and probably Scotland. Scotland, you got these class systems. A lot of classes. A lot like Parasite. Parasite shows you what the world's about.
Yeah.
Up by Barcelona, same thing. All these class systems, where nobody's given it a chance out there. What you got to do is be given a chance. People have got to be given opportunity. Very important.
You touched on it there, Parasite. What are the films at the moment that you're really enjoying? And this is a question we pose to everyone we get onto this show. What kind of A24 films are the highlights for you? Obviously, Uncut Gems and Good Time, I imagine, are on that list.
There's so many. There's so many. There's a lot of B movies that should have been A movies that A24 did. I don't want to go into all their movies because I'm really hit for Uncut Gems, but they've done a lot of great stuff. A24 is it's an opportunist company. It brings in it helps a lot of people by bringing in new talent to the world. Lower budget films where they can afford making movies. I mean, not everybody can go out and spend $250 million on a film. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the budget for Uncut was $20 million. I mean, that's a low budget film, and look how great it came out. Yeah. It's not all. People think it's all about money, and like all these holes on the street. It's all about money. It's all about having a life. Yeah. And you got to have an opportunity too. You don't need $100 million to make a movie. If you got talent with you, I mean, for $20 million, you make a great movie. Look what they did here for this movie. On $20 million. I mean, come on, give me a break. And who got most of that money? Probably Adam. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they got paid, but I mean, you need a star. You need a star. You need people with talent. That's why they pick people for the street, cheap. But they got talent. They know it.
With obviously Uncut Gems in America, it got a rollout in cinema. It's out in digital in a few weeks' time. With Uncut Gems, the rest of the world, it's on Netflix here. You are now streaming into people's homes in Scotland, Iceland, Timbuktu, Australia.
I know. Is it on now?
Yeah, it came out at the end of January. What's it like to now be transported into everyone's homes? That it's one of the most popular films on Netflix at the moment. What's it like having that global exposure?
I can't wait to go to St. Tropez this summer in Ibiza. I can't be sitting at Cipriani's. I can't wait to sit there with all of them and sit there and go, hey, you're the guy. Who are you? You're the guy. It's fun. It's great. I mean, who could ask for more than this? Can't buy what they gave me. A little bit of fame in my life is nice. I was always infamous, but I was never had some fame. This is nice. Nice feeling that people respect you,
What's it like to almost have this second life now? You've retired.
Not a second. It's always been my life. Nothing's changed. I'm looking at you. I'm eating popcorn. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah, it's something else. And what's it kind of the tour been like? Sort of with the film kind of coming out, going out there promoting the film. Interviews, profiles. You've become the star of this film as well. What's this whole experience been like? Kind of looking back on the past few weeks and months.
It's been nice. I mean, what can you say? I think I've said it all. I mean, there's not much more to say. The only thing I do is I miss. When you do a film with all these kind of guys and these girls, and even the crew, the lighting crews, and the boom guys, the photographers, Darius. When it's over, you're like depressed. You became like a family. When you do a movie, you become like a family, I think. That's the thing I miss. I speak to them every day, the boys. We text all the time, every day. Josh, his brother, Sebastian. I miss being with them. I miss being part of the group. They're out there, they got to do their shit, promoting and everything else. And I'm like doing my Instagram. The Wayne Diamond.
Absolutely.
The Wayne Diamond on Instagram. Remember that, guys? The Wayne Diamond.
You've kind of talked about sort of like, the next kind of Safdie brothers kind of movie, hopefully an exciting role for you there. What things are kind of coming up that people should kind of keep an eye out for, and where's the best place to keep up with the latest developments in your career?
I think that you Google like me, Wayne Diamond. You see, I was GQ. I did 5 or 6 pages of GQ this week. Last week I did The Face. It was the old famous magazine from London. Getting very, very big again here. A lot of articles, just articles in the paper. A good thing is to pick up a copy of Variety. You find out what everybody's doing, because everybody is looking to do the next thing. Everybody in that movie wants to do the next thing. Believe me, I'm not the only one. We're all pushing.
And kind of finally, when you think of sort of Uncut Gems stuff, what were some of your favorite memories of shooting the film, being kind of on the set? What are some of the highlights when you look back and you think that was such a special memory to have, or did it sort of just go in a whirlwind?
You're in a different world. I think at the end of the movie, I couldn't walk anymore, and Sebastian McLeod was carrying me all around, and he carried me because I couldn't walk anymore. They walked 90 miles to every set. So the last set, I had to walk, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We had done the bags, the scene at the end. And Sebastian is carrying me. I mean, I couldn't walk anymore. It was over. My legs are gone. Were gone. And that was memorable because I love the kid. I love him so much. I do. I love him. He's such a sweetheart. I guess seeing the movie done, it just shocks you the way it comes together. Where you didn't know anything, and you were put in a situation, and then all of a sudden you see the whole thing, and you go, "Holy, where did that all come from?" I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's insane.
You touched on it, that final thing where you're in it, like it hinges on you in a respect as well, that you have so much stress going on. I mean, me and my co-host on the show, we looked at like our watches after the film, and you know how we can monitor your heart rate. We're looking at ours going, oh my god, it's through the roof here, like watching that last stretch of the movie. But you're there to sort of make it like you can breathe watching it a little bit. You're still on edge.
Like it's not so bad. She knows what's going on. She doesn't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I mean, we're doing this scene when we don't know what is happening in the other situation here, which you see, you know what happened already, which is very interesting. Which was it was sick. I thought it was sick. I was like, oh, very tough scene. And then she's I'm telling her how rich I am and without a helicopter, I got so much money, I don't know what to do anymore. And, I make friends with her. I was just looking to, I guess I was looking to get laid or something,
One of those things I want to ask you about as well was that you got obviously your lines from the Safdies. Did you get much to improvise in it? In terms of, oh come on, I know how I could get. This is how I would say it to a fine woman like Julia Fox if she came into my hotel suite.
Yeah, no, but I think that the Safdies really love improvisation. I think that they count on it. They count on the people in their films to improvise many of the scenes. I think what they gave me this stick, and by the time you get done with them, the first 5 minutes after they're directing you, you don't remember lines. So really, basically, you have the narrative in your head. So you got the narrative. You've done things before in your life. You've had those life experiences, to pull from, and I think that you just live. You live in the moment. That's it, and you really get in the moment. The way they do it, they just the directing. The two brothers, the greatest directors I never saw anybody like that. Boom, 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 and before you know it, you're doing this, you're doing that. How you doing 3 times in one night, baby? I love you. You know what I mean? They were terrific. It's all about. I say 50% of any movie and any great actor is a great director.
Did you feel like James Bond when you're shooting in this helicopter, like a night shoot, movie star? You're like Roger Moore or something.
I was 3.5 hours in that helicopter. I felt like I was going to die. Okay, it was an $8,000 helicopter where Josh told me this is going to be we're going to get Sikorsky. It's going to be a beautiful helicopter. The Bell helicopter was 10 years old. I'm lucky I'm alive. Okay. I got this thing I was hanging on for dear help. It was all open. It was like, they used it for all the movies and the chase movies and all that. Forget about it. Scary for me. But, I didn't give a after about 5 minutes, I didn't give a
It's been so exciting to talk with you about the making of this film and so on. If you want to kind of like touch on the other things that you would recommend people check out some of your other work. You've touched on radio shows, some little short films.
Podcasts in New York, a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
A lot of the great podcasts in New York. I'm a New York guy. I talk with a New York accent, okay? I'm all New York, so, it's all in New York. I'm in Miami, I'm in New York. And in the summer, I'm in St. Tropez and Ibiza most of the time. I'm a little Mykonos, but a little bit, not as much as I used to. So I love Europe. I love Europe. I love, maybe I come to Scotland. The weather in Scotland always sucks. So I mean,
It's snowing just now, so I think you've
it's like,
got a wise idea.
I should
Maybe
call
just say
Alan right now. A lot of people
America.
watch this in Europe. A lot of people watch it in Europe.
Yeah, it's huge in Europe as well. So Uncut Gems, I saw it as the surprise film at the London Film Festival, and I was 100% sure for months it was going to be Uncut Gems because it wasn't on the schedule for the festival at all.
Yeah,
and I was like,
isn't that
I'm going to
terrible?
spend 20 quid on a ticket and
I
hope
like
it's
that.
Uncut Gems.
Good. I love you, baby.
So it was
I love you.
It came on at 10 o'clock at night, and then they went, the directors couldn't be here today to introduce the film, and I went to my mate, yes, it's going to be Uncut Gems. It's clearly the Safdie brothers.
Parasite, you got to take 5 volumes for Parasite. It's so depressing. It's so great. I mean, look, Parasite is one of the most amazing movies ever done. Uncut Gems should have been next to them. They should, because they were 2 films. They were done so differently than what's usually done, and it would have been nice to have them together.
Absolutely. It was great to see like the Safdies and Adam get their kind of moment in the sun with the Independent Spirit Awards, but they should have been at the Oscar table. It really was a travesty.
No, it's disgusting. Bronstein should have won screenplay. He had the greatest screenplay. At least screenplay. I can give somebody, one of them, something. But the night before, he did a great job, Adam. If everybody watches it, the other awards were great, and he did. And this is the way it is.
Absolutely. But honestly, thank you so much, Wayne, for
You're welcome.
talking
My
with me.
pleasure. I love doing this with you. Anytime you want.
Absolutely.
New Yorker.
I certainly will.
Get your ass out of Scotland. Thank you so much.
Take care, Wayne.
Take care, baby. Bye-bye, everybody.